Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. All good now? Okay, yes. So let's restart then. Thank you for that. First off, I wanted to say thank you for understanding my time off. I usually take Fridays off anyways, but thank you for understanding and letting me take a day off on Monday for vacation. Yesterday, when I got back, I had all intentions of working for you and getting that focus list posted, but unfortunately, my last day in London, I wound up getting food poisoning, and then 8-hour flight home with food poisoning is no fun. 0 out of 10. I do not recommend it. So when I got home yesterday, I said, you know what? I'm probably better off just resting so that I feel better and feel 100% going into today. I do feel much, much better, but I probably slept 15 hours yesterday. It's pretty wild. As what I was saying about the market was we have good setups out there today. Things almost look too good to be true, if I'm being honest, but I'm really happy that we have great setups because I already have an idea of where I want to place my trades, and that's what we're going to review here in this session. I'm just hoping that today we get follow through on some of these setups. Doesn't have to be all of them, but at least on some of them, so that way we have somewhere to place our trades and hopefully take advantage of some opportunity. So yes, thank you all for letting me take a vacation day. I normally, to anybody that's new, I normally don't take days off. It's pretty rare actually that I take a day off, with the exception of Fridays. But so yeah, I just want to say thanks for allowing me to do that, and not holding me against that. All right, so we're going to start with SPY. On the daily time frame, SPY is breaking out of this ranging consolidation. I'll show you on the daily here. So here's your ranging consolidation. It's not quite a range. To be honest with you, it kind of looked more like a bear flag to me. But it's just a rising channel now at this point. So we do have higher lows. We do have higher highs. We are not far off from the all-time high, which is placed at 674. So you may want to just take note of that's going to be your all-time high there at 674. The reason why you want to make note of that is because it's going to be a potential point of resistance. So SPY today, from a long perspective, is going to be a long above yesterday's high of day. So long above 672.5, we'll be looking for the run to that all-time high, and then from there we'll adjust and see, do we get new all-time highs? Does that continue beyond it, or does it hit that point and act as a point of resistance and then pull back? What kind of price action will we get there? But to the top side, all we're looking for is a continuation. Really nice move yesterday. Pretty clean price action there. The short level, you could go aggressive on this and go short at 670 if you would like. That would make total sense to me. If we pull that line back, it's the previous peak, previous resistance can become new support. Yesterday that acted as support, pre-market that acted as support. It works if you want to go short at 670. This is trading closer to the resistance than the support though, so I want to give this some room to flex. So I actually placed my short level at $668, pretty much for the same reason as what I just mentioned. This old resistance there acting as new support here also rings true for this point of resistance there acting as potential new support here. I feel that placing a short level at 668, the long at 672.5 means that I'm going aggressive with the long trigger level and I'm going more conservative with the short level, but I'm doing that intentionally so that we give SPY room to flex to both sides and that we're not getting faked out on anything. Cool. All right. Wow, we got a lot of people in here today. Let's see who we got. J Nunn, GC, S Jackie, Maria, Lord Merman, Ricardo, welcome in. Dylan, Jimmy, Reagan, Big Ron, welcome in, welcome in. Gerald, Andres, Michael, Gustavo, Olivier, Stephanie, Jimmy, Roy, hello, hello, hello. I think we got a couple of Marias in here, actually. Yep, we got two that I see. Possibly, yeah, just two. Yeah, welcome in, everybody. If you're just tuning in late, we're just doing a review of the watch list going into today. Number 2 on the watch list is going to be Apple. What a move. This is known as a gap and go, by the way. So yesterday, this is a gap up on a positive reaction to a news catalyst that sends this to highs of $264. So if we pull this back on the daily time for, actually, I'm going to go weekly. No, I'll stay on the daily. I'll stay on the daily and pull it back 20 years. What I want to point out is this resistance right here at 260. Remember this ascending triangle that we were looking for a breakout on, and then it didn't happen, and then Apple sold off? Well, Apple found a support around 245 and then is now back up above that resistance point. So we can't really count this as an ascending triangle breakout, but what this certainly is for us is new all-time highs. So back to the 5-minute time frame, what makes the most sense here today is to look for new all-time highs. But there are a couple of ways that we can run this. We don't have to wait on this to get to 264 for us to take a trade, because Apple, what it's giving us now is a nice clean downtrend trend line where you have a high and then a series of lower highs. Every one of these tests of this trend line is a lower high, which means that if we even zoom out from there, this is a big bull flag pattern, isn't it? Right? That's a big, massive bull flag. This means that the trend continues the moment that we get a higher high, not the moment that it breaks the peak of the formation. So we don't necessarily have to wait for this to get to 264 for us to take a trade. What we can do here is go aggressive on this. We probably could go long at 262 or 262 and a half, 263 or 264. The problem with going long any earlier than 264 is that we're entering under the assumption that it's going to give us the profit margin that we're looking for, which is 264 plus. So you look like a genius if you take the trade down here and then this runs to 264 plus because you got the entry way down here. Right, you will look like a genius if you're doing that. But the con to that is if you take that entry down there and then this only moves like that and pulls back, now all of a sudden you just look like you took the entry too early. So this is I'm gonna be here today trading live and walking you through this. But how you trade this is going to be up to you. If you want to take the entry early at 264 and a half or 263. I'm not mad about it. Apple had nice momentum yesterday. It's at the all-time highs. It's leading right now. There are probably a lot of eyes on this. So, it might be something that's worth the risk, but you have to figure that out for yourself. Is taking an entry early on Apple worth the risk in your opinion, or is it not? I can't answer that for you. I'll tell you this though, the safest way to approach this is long at 264 and just wait on it to get there before you take an entry. That way you have proper confirmation that it's breaking the downtrend trend line, proper confirmation that it's testing the all-time high area, and proper confirmation that we're getting a break of yesterday's high of day. So what I'm placing on the watch list is Apple long above 264. But I want you to be aware of the idea that there is a chance you could go early on it. You can take an entry early on this and be okay and make pretty decent profit. So pros and cons to each side. One is an early entry with potentially more profit, but the risk of it rejecting. And one is a later entry with more confirmation and potential less profit. So it's up to you how you want to run it. For the sake of being safe, I'm placing the long at 264 on Apple with the understanding that we could potentially take an entry on that earlier. AMD, next one on the watch list, daily chart time frame. We are stair-stepping up on AMD. You've got all of these higher lows. You've got this lesser angle of higher highs. This almost screams breakout potential to me up here. So AMD, we are also going to be looking for new all-time highs. It's going to be a long idea above $243. There is no early entry that I see possible on this. If you go long at 242, there's so many fake outs above 242, up to 243. 243 is the proper resistance. So there's nothing here. There's no way you take this entry early. It's a long above 243 or don't take the entry at all. If you wanted to place a short level on this, you could go short around 238. I did not place my short level there. I didn't place a short level at all, rather, but if I did, that's where I would place it. So short at 238 if you're interested in taking AMD short on a rejection of the 243 level or area. Up next is Microsoft. Somebody said it has been a while. Since what? Oh, since running these streams? Yep. Well, you know, if you're in the Discord server, you get these every morning. Not always with the screen share session, but we do run a pre-market review every morning regardless. Do I trade while the market's open? Yes, I do, of course. Microsoft, next one on the watch list. So daily chart time frame, here's what you got. I'll pull back to the same area of support. This is the daily, by the way. So this is your area of support. Microsoft finding that support around the green dashed line here. That's going to be your 50 EMA. It is starting to consolidate at the 50 EMA, and consolidation we know to be what? The first sign to a trend change. If you got that, congratulations. So we got a break of this downtrend trend line. We've got the same hold of the same area of support. We've got consolidation starting to break out to the top side, possible range break to the top side, possible trend change and reversal up. So what we're looking for on Microsoft is going to be a break of $518. So we'll go back to the 5-minute time frame. We're looking for a break of 518. If you need a little more confirmation out of this, you can move it to 518.5, but I don't think that you need to wait on this to get beyond that. So Microsoft long above 518 for the range breakout continuation on the daily chart time frame. All right, I got 3 more for you. 3 more. Meta, similar setup to Microsoft, in my opinion. Daily chart time frame, this is sold off. It found support, started to range. Here's your resistance of that range, placed up here around 737. Here's your support of that range, placed at the $700 hold number. Back to the 5-minute time frame. Where are we trading this morning? Imagine that, right under 737. So Meta long above 737, right? Does that, everybody, that we're all tracking here? You understand why 737? Look, resistance of the range, resistance of the range, support of the range, okay? Now back to the 5-minute time frame, where are we trading at? The resistance of the range. So we're looking for the break of that resistance today on Meta, long idea above 737. If you want to move that up to 737.5 or 738 for a little more confirmation, you can. But I went ahead and placed my level at 737 for Meta. Google, next one on the watch list. So to the daily chart time frame, here's what we're looking at. Let me clean this up a little bit. I've got marks all over this chart. So here's what we're looking at on Google. This is a proper bull flag breakout into new all-time highs. So Google, here's your break of the downtrend trend line. That's your bull flag. So your break of the downtrend trend line happening here, your breakout of the bull flag also happening here, meeting resistance up here at 257, which was a prior area of resistance. So we're looking for the break of yesterday's resistance, essentially. $257. This is a slight gap down this morning, so you would be getting also a red to green move on the reclaim of this green line, which is the previous day's closing price. So there's a lot of confirmations that happen for Google on the break of $257. If you want to be a little more aggressive, you can go long at 256.5. If you want to be a little more conservative, you can go long at 257.5. Or if you want to be somewhere in the middle, long at 257. All right, next one and last one on the watch list is UNH. I actually had this on the watch list before I saw the gap up this morning. UNH is kind of moving slow, but it is moving nonetheless and working on reclaiming this big sell-off that it had. At what point does this start to really take off? Probably around $400. But here's what we've got. UNH broke out of this pennant pattern to the top side, has pulled back. This kind of looks like a bull flag to me that has started to break out, and then we follow that up with a gap up this morning. So UNH today, we are looking for the break of your pre-market high following the gap up, which is at $373. If you want to be a little more aggressive on this, 371 or 372 could work, because you would also be getting a break of that downtrend trend line there. So UNH long above 373 is what we're looking for. Top stock pick of the day. We've got some good setups, but the top stock pick of the day, I think, is probably going to be Apple. Hopefully we get follow through. That's just the biggest question. Will we get follow through or not? Apple does have a tendency to pop and run and move, and then the next day not do anything. And so it's like if you don't catch Apple on the day that it breaks out, it's tough to follow it up because Apple usually doesn't, just historically speaking, from my experience, Apple doesn't normally give us multi-day runners. It's not like Tesla, for example, right? Like Tesla, when it starts running, it's like, wow, that's a big run on Tesla. And then you think it can't go any further. And then it gaps up the next day and then it continues to run. And you're like, oh, that's just Tesla. Apple's not like that. Apple usually doesn't make those kind of moves. But like I said, this is a positive reaction to a news catalyst and it's at the all-time highs. So it makes the most sense for us to watch for a possible continuation on Apple. But we have really good setups all around nonetheless. But if I had to just choose one to watch today, it would be this one. So Apple above $264. All right. Thank you all so much for your time. I'm going to get the watch list posted for you over in the Discord server. By the way, we are trading live today. So if you're new here, this is how you're going to navigate to the live trading. It's not held here on YouTube because there's a delay that I can't control. So we do all of our live trading over here in the Discord server. So scroll all the way down to the bottom left-hand side of the server. You're going to see a channel, voice channel, called the Arena. The Arena. That is where we will conduct the live trading. So if you'd like to just join into the Arena there, click on the Arena there. I will meet you over there in about probably 15 to 20 minutes or so. I'll see you there. Cool. All right. Thank you for your time. I'll get the watch list posted. Good luck today. Trade safe and make sure you're waiting on those confirmations before you take a trade. All right. We'll see you over in the live trading. Cheers.